Hello, and welcome to yet another edition of Felixstowe Matters. Now, today is very special for two reasons. Number one, we're starting a new apprentice, and joy of joys, it's her birthday. And so I'm hoping to introduce you to her, so you'll see her on her first day and on her birthday as well. We'll be able to wish her very many happy returns. But the other good reason is that we've got someone here from Sense. Now, I've got Pete Gilder, and he's been with Sense for a long time. Welcome to
Thank you, Eric.
our show.
Thank you.
And it's very nice to have you with us.
Thank you.
Now, Sense plays such a big part in the town because I think every visitor to Felixstowe goes into your charity shop.
Well, it's a lovely shop. It's very inviting. It's a nice size shop.
Yes.
Yes.
And of course it's opposite the co-op.
Opposite the co-op.
And so when people come into Felixstowe, they come straight to your shop, I
Well,
think.
of course, it's very near the bus stops. Very near the
this is
Great
right.
Eastern Square, obviously.
Now, you don't just cover everything, you cover you specialise, don't you? Now, tell me a bit about your speciality.
Well, me personally, I look after the furniture side of the business. I collect donated furniture and deliver furniture that we sell.
And you do a very good service because one or two other people who should be nameless in the town, they only deliver once a week.
Oh, right.
Whereas you have deliveries every day.
Well, in Felixstowe we deliver 3 days a week, Monday,
Yes.
Wednesday, Friday,
Yes.
and Ipswich Tuesdays and Thursdays.
Oh, you cover Ipswich as
We
well?
cover Ipswich. In fact, we cover most of Suffolk.
Do
We
you
go
really?
right up to Saxmundham
Do you really?
and as far down as Colchester and even to Chelmsford on odd occasions.
Do you really?
Obviously, it's got to be worthwhile, but
Yes, yes.
yes.
Do people give you rubbish furniture sometimes?
Yes, they try to, I think, is the
I see.
answer. Because obviously it costs them for the council to take it away.
Oh, I see.
I think it can be as much as £30.
Really?
We have to be a little particular. On suites, for instance, anything upholstered,
Yeah.
we have to make sure there's a fire label,
Oh, I see.
and we have to make sure that we're able to sell it.
I see.
I mean, it's always down to the driver's discretion, and that's how it is put. If anybody rings us up,
Yes.
we do say, and anybody who answers the phone will say, it is down to the driver's discretion as to whether they think that we can sell it and whether we will take it. We never ever mind looking, is the first thing to say,
see,
Eric.
yes.
Yeah.
So anybody who's got something to donate, they just ring you up, and the number will be coming up, I think. We'll be putting your number up.
Brilliant, yep.
So they just ring you up and they will tell you just what you've said.
That's right. It's a Felixstowe number that we're based on, and they keep the diary there, and they will agree with the customer when is the best time, morning or afternoon, on which particular day we're able to come along and have a look at the furniture.
Yes.
And if we think, as I say, we can sell it, we will take it away there and then.
That's good.
That's
And
it.
what sort of things don't you like about furniture, or what sort of things do you turn down?
Well, when it comes to upholstery, as I say, if it hasn't got a fire label, then there is no way that we can take it.
Is a fire label actually on every suite?
Since 1988, yes.
I see. What about some older furniture then?
That more or less rules it out.
Oh, I see.
The only exception to that would be if it's possibly made of old horse hair.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
Yes.
there are still possibilities that we can sell that sort of thing.
Yes.
But anything from 1988 onwards
Yes.
will have a
Oh,
fire
I
label.
see. So
And if it hasn't got a fire label, then that rules it out
I
immediately.
see. Yes.
And it would normally have a fire label sewn in either underneath the chair or the
Yes.
settee or just under the cushions.
Yes.
Sometimes it's on the back.
Oh, I see.
Sometimes it's even in the cushions.
Is it?
So we know where to
You know
look.
where
So
to look,
if the
that's
customer
right.
can't always find it, we sometimes can.
You can. Oh, well, that's good. So
Yeah.
basically, if they're in doubt, ask you to come along.
And as I
That's
say,
what they
providing
can.
it's local, we
Yes.
never ever mind
Well,
looking.
that's good.
Yeah.
And what other sort of furniture? Are you worried about size, for instance?
There are certain things that won't sell.
Give us some examples.
Right, I mean, sometimes we get offered very large wardrobes.
Yes.
They are very, very difficult
Are
to
they?
sell.
Yes. Yes.
I suppose the main reason is a lot of the properties that we go into around Felixstowe and Ipswich tend to be flats.
Oh, I see.
And it's therefore the large furniture won't go necessarily into a
Oh, I see,
smallish
yes,
flat.
yes.
But again, we never mind looking. The other main thing is that there are so many 6-foot teak colour wall units,
Oh, really?
and they won't sell. I'm
Teak
afraid.
colour?
Teak colour wall units.
How
Yes.
strange.
They just won't sell. They were all the rage in perhaps the 70s and early 80s,
Yes.
and now everybody, I suppose, is getting fed up with them,
Yes.
and they want to change. And we find they just won't sell.
How strange.
Now again, if they had the run-of-the-mill 6-foot teak units, teak colour units,
Yes.
we would normally say no over the phone.
Oh, I see. Yes.
If there's something a little different, again, we never mind having a look.
Oh, well, that's good. That's nice. Now, you've got a background in furniture, haven't you? Tell us
Yes.
a little bit about your background.
Well, first of all, I spent most of my life in retailing, most of the time with the co-ops. About 10 years I've spent selling furniture. That was with Colchester Co-op, based at Malden, Essex. And also I spent a good time of my life at Homebase, where again we sold furniture.
Yeah.
So I have a fair knowledge of furniture.
That's
Yes.
very good. So
Yes.
it stands you in good stead.
I'd like to think so. Yes.
And do you drive the van that collects and what's it? Or do you
I
have a
drive the
driver?
van, and I have a porter who again is full-time, and he's actually my son, Richard.
Really? Oh, it's
Yes,
a real
indeed.
family business.
Well, it's not a family business, it just happened to work out that way, you
Yes,
know.
yes.
But so we do get on really well together.
Oh, that's right.
He's the
nice.
brawns and I'm the brain. Is
Oh,
that's,
that's
is
very-
how he
that's
describes
very
it.
well put, isn't it?
That's how he describes
Yeah.
it.
And tell me, some time ago you had a robbery at the Sense. Tell us a
We
little bit
did.
about that, because how anybody can rob a charity shop, I just don't know.
It was very disheartening, Eric. In fact, that was the last time I was on Felixstowe TV, when you were in your old premises at
Yes.
Brookend. And I suppose that must be nearly 2 years ago now. I've lost track.
It must be, yes.
But somebody kicked in the back door and got in and took the safe, basically.
Yes.
And
Took the
they
safe.
took the safe.
Actually took it.
Yeah, I mean, it wasn't a big safe, but
No.
they took it.
And was there money in it?
I think it was the weekend's takings, if I remember
Yes,
rightly, because we
yes.
couldn't have banked at that time. But now things have all been changed. But
Yeah.
it's very disheartening,
Yes.
very disconcerting, you know, when somebody actually robs from a charity.
Charity, well,
yeah,
this is right,
it
yeah.
really was.
Now, tell me a little bit about the Sense charity, because people see it up there, Sense. It doesn't mean much to them, really.
No, I
but-
must admit, before I started working for Sense, which was 5 years ago, it didn't mean a lot to me.
No.
So I checked it out on the internet at that time before I got the job, and found that it had actually started in 1955.
Oh, it's quite an old charity. Then.
Yes,
yes.
I mean, during that time there was the rubella outbreaks
Oh,
that there
yes.
used to be a lot of in, you know, the UK.
Yeah.
And actually 2 ladies came together who had rubella,
Children with
congenital rubella syndrome is the
Oh
actual.
dear, yes.
Yeah. They had 2 children who had that,
Yes.
and that affects the ears, eyes and the heart. And they found there was no support for them, no help. So they got together with 10 other families.
Yes.
They all came together and Sense was born.
How wonderful.
Basically.
That's
And from that it has grown.
it's because it's national now, isn't it?
It is national, it's even international.
International.
International,
goodness
yeah, there is a
gracious,
separate Sense International
Is there?
yeah,
Yes.
part. So they do a lot of good work.
Yes.
They have homes for deaf, blind people
Really.
up and down the country. I think the nearest one to here is somewhere in Stowmarket.
Yes.
So they do an awful lot of good.
Okay. And you're looking for volunteers, I hear.
We're always looking for volunteers in the shops. So please come along and see Debbie, the manager, or the assistant managers, Kathy and Nicole, in Felixstowe
Yes.
shops, and they'll always put you right.
Good. What sort of hours do these volunteers need to expect to work?
Well, as few as they can is helpful, or as many as they can.
So they could come in for a couple of hours.
Yeah, I mean, the best thing is to, as I say, pop along
Pop
to
along.
see Debbie,
That's very
Kathy,
good,
or
isn't it?
Nicole,
Yes.
and they'll, gladly hear you out and be interested, in
Yes.
what you can do for them.
Yes. And what are the, you're looking for things to sell in the shop. How do you get the things that you sell?
Well, we're also looking for donations. Obviously furniture I've mentioned, but apart from that we also take a whole list of things which perhaps I can give you.
Yes, please do. This is
fashions.
but any clothes at all, in effect?
In fact, yes, because even if they're not saleable, they can send them for rags.
Oh, I see.
So they can be recycled, and they can get money from the rag man, as we call him.
So in other words, they don't have to wash them or clean them or do anything. They can just send them to you. If they've got a bag of old clothes, go through their wardrobe and send the lot to you.
Obviously, it's nice if they are clean,
Well,
but
yes.
you know.
But if they're only going to be used for rags,
yes,
it
that's
doesn't
right.
really matter, does
Yeah.
it?
So rags, you know, we can accept.
Yes.
And they can make quite a bit of money out of that.
Because I do know of people who've sort of got something and they go to the expense of having it dry cleaned, and they send it to the charity shop, and then they come through and they see it on sale for less than they've paid for the dry cleaning.
Well, that's right. I mean, there is no need to do that. Obviously, in an ideal world, it'd be nice if everything that came in the shop was clean,
yes,
but
yes.
This is not an ideal world.
Somebody gives you an item of clothing. Do you clean it or wash it, or what do you do?
What
to
they
it?
have, they have a steam machine.
Oh, really?
Which
yes.
they've got in the back room. In fact, all charity shops have this.
Do they? Yes.
So that, I suppose it's a bit like an iron.
Yes.
So, and they just put the steaming machine up and down over the clothing.
Oh, I see.
So, I mean, that...
So, in effect, it sterilises
it sterilises it in a way and
good,
cleans it, obviously,
yes.
and
smooths
irons
it
it as well.
Yes,
That's
what a
right.
clever idea. Now,
It is.
I've learned something.
I mean, one of those would be very useful at home.
It would
Eric.
be, wouldn't it? Oh, it's a special one.
It is a special machine.
It is, isn't it interesting?
It looks a bit like a vacuum cleaner with a long pipe.
Really, isn't it? And
Yeah.
I bet you 90% of our viewers don't know that. So
I bet they
we've
don't.
learnt it. So, and about the rags, because I'm sure a lot of things go into the bin which, you know, it's not good enough for the charity shop.
That's right.
And whereas if they know they can just bundle it in, and how do they actually give it to you?
Well, you can either bring it along to Felixstowe shop or our two other shops in Ipswich. At the Felixstowe shop, there's actually a car park at the back, which is the old Co-op dairy.
Oh, yes.
And so you can drive in there, there's plenty of space, you can pull right to the back of the
Yes.
shop, buzzer on the back door,
Yes.
and we'll gladly come out and take your donations
Isn't
from
that
you.
wonderful? Well, I hope you'll get a lot more donations.
Well, let's
now.
hope so, because we're
Yeah.
always looking for them.
Tell me some of the other things that you...
Right, I've got a whole list here.
Good,
So
well, let's go through them then.
handbags, shoes and accessories,
Yes,
jewellery of costume type, general jewellery,
yes,
antiques and collectibles,
yes,
linen and household items,
yes.
certain electrical goods. At the moment we don't really take white goods, we haven't got the facility
When
for
you talk
taking
about white goods, what do you mean by white goods?
fridges, freezers,
Oh, that's
washing
what- oh, I see.
machines,
Yes,
cookers,
yes,
that sort
yes.
of thing.
In other words, the bigger items.
Yeah, although we've started selling them, we haven't really got the facilities to store them
Oh,
at
I
the moment,
see.
so that's
yes,
a problem.
Yes.
Books, CDs, cassette tapes and vinyl, we're still interested in
Yes,
those. VHS tapes, now a lot of charity shops won't take those now, but we still sell
You
them.
still sell them,
We're glad
yes.
to have them.
Yes.
DVDs, toys, games, bric-a-brac,
Yes.
foreign and pre-decimal currency, and we're always on the lookout for carrier bags.
Carrier bag.
Never got enough carrier bags. That's
Really?
absolutely great, yes,
Yes.
indeed. Yeah. We do have a website at Sense, which perhaps we'll give out later.
Would you? Oh, yes, no, we'll put that up for you. Yes.
Brilliant. So that tells you a lot of information about Sense. It tells you everything they're doing,
Yes.
and so that's of interest.
Now tell me, you not only are involved with Sense, but you have there's a pantomime. Now this sounds most intriguing. First of all, what's the name of the pantomime?
Rumpelstiltskin.
And it was on last weekend,
We
and
had-
it's on this weekend.
Yes, we had 2 shows last Saturday, and now we've also got one this coming Friday, and 2 more on Saturday.
Goodness.
So the dates for those, just to get it right, it's Friday the 1st at 7:30, and Saturday the 2nd of February at 2:30 and 7:30.
And there are still tickets available.
There are tickets available, and if I can quote the number,
Please do,
Yep.
yes.
it's an Ipswich number 01473 719 089. There is also a website,
Yes.
www.springfieldfollies, all one word, .org.uk. Tickets are priced at £7 for adults, £4 for children, each that is. There is a family ticket of 2 adults and 2 children for £20, and it's at the Kesgrave Community Centre, 12 Acre Approach, Kesgrave. That's IP5 1JF.
So in effect, they've got to have their own transport to get there, because what time is it on?
Well, it's on 7:30 on Friday,
yes.
and 2:30 and 7:30 on Saturday.
Because there's not public transport.
There is a public.
Is there?
It's right next to Tesco's at
really?
Kesgrave.
Oh, really?
And I
Yes.
think it's. Well, I think they used to call it Route 66 or something.
Oh,
bus.
really? Oh, that's good.
Yeah, I'm not sure that's correct now, but
Yes.
please check that out. There is a bus service there.
Oh, so that
From Ipswich. Yeah.
from Ipswich,
From Ipswich,
not from
yeah.
Felixstowe.
Not from Felixstowe, but obviously buses are available to Ipswich and then to
I know,
Kesgrave.
but I think it's a long way round. So in
Well-
other words, we'll hope there's a lot of people who've got their own transport.
Well, yeah,
who'd
but it's
like-
a nice day out.
It's a
Eric.
lovely.
Of
Or then
course.
go to Tesco's as well.
They can go to Tesco's as
That's
well,
right.
and there's
Do
other
go.
shops there as
Yes,
well.
yes. Well, thank you so much for coming along, and I hope you're going to have a very successful thing with your furniture, which I've personally bought and given.
You have indeed,
And
Eric.
so
Thank you very much
I
for
can
that.
vouch for how good it is.
Thank you.
And I'm hoping that the pantomime will do very well as
Thank
and
you.
I think that Sense does a marvellous job, and you're to be congratulated.
Thank you very
for
much
everything
indeed,
you
Eric.
do.
Thank you.
And now we're going to come on to the happy bit, which is, of course, our friend Pete is going to go away, and we're going to welcome Sam to come in, and it's her birthday. So we ought to sing Happy Birthday to you, Happy Birthday to you, Happy Birthday, dear Sam. Happy birthday to you.
Thank you.
I hope. And how old are you, Sam?
I'm 19 today.
Oh, you
Yeah.
don't look it at all.
Yeah,
So-
halfway to 38 now.
Oh, halfway to 38, goodness.
I think that's right.
And so this is a very special day
Yeah.
today, because number one, it's your birthday, which is the biggest thing. Did you get any nice presents?
Not yet, because my parents both at work this morning.
Oh, I see.
So,
But you're
yeah, I've
looking
got
forward when you get
Yeah,
home.
I get to look forward
But
to
of
that.
course, this is your first day as
Yes.
an apprentice, an official apprentice for Felixstowe Television. So
very
it's
exciting.
a big milestone for us at
Yeah.
Felixstowe TV, and a big milestone for you too. I
I'm
hope it's
happy
going-
to be here, yeah.
It is. Now tell me your background with media.
Well, I went to Suffolk New College and I had done the level 3 extended diploma in
Oh,
media
yes.
production. So we made music videos, live TV shows, news reports, short films. We've done a bit of everything.
That's
yeah.
very good,
Yeah,
isn't it?
you get a lot
Yeah.
of experience from it.
So tell me, I'm very puzzled, because all these youngsters are doing media courses, and yet so many of them don't get jobs in the media.
Yeah, it's-
Why is that,
It's
do you
just
think?
such a difficult industry. I
Yeah.
mean, there is limited space to get into now, and
Yeah.
I mean, where we live in Suffolk, we have got a few stations, but I mean, they don't need a massive crew, so there isn't a lot of jobs available at the moment.
Yeah.
So I was really lucky to find this apprenticeship.
Yeah. And of course the other problem is that it's one of those vicious circles.
Yeah.
You can't get a job unless you've had experience, and you
Experience,
can't get
yeah.
experience unless you've had a job.
It's the most important thing is to get experience. in
So I'm
media.
hoping that you're going to be very soon sitting
Yes.
in my chair
Hopefully.
and presenting your own
Yeah,
shows.
yeah.
You've got a choice of over 40 shows we've got. Have you
Yeah.
seen the list? Of
I have looked on the website.
Oh
so
no,
I've
we've
had a
got
look.
we've got a special paper with
Yeah.
40 different shows, and you can choose which show you want.
Yeah.
These are new shows which are coming
that's
up, and you can
exciting.
choose which one you want.
Yeah.
Now, any brothers and sisters?
I
or-
have got an older sister. She's 22 this year,
Yes.
so quite young still.
Yeah.
Yeah, she's up in Leeds at the moment.
In Leeds?
Yeah, she's at university. She's in her final year this year.
Is she? Oh,
So I'm
that's-
hoping to go visit her sometime.
Oh, that's
this year.
fun, isn't
yeah.
it? Oh, that's nice.
She's got her own
And-
house now.
Oh, that's lovely. And you're living with your parents.
Yeah.
And where do you live?
I live in Needham Market, so I'm not local.
You're not,
unfortunately.
no, but
No.
it shows your enthusiasm,
Yeah.
because we were a bit reluctant to take you on,
Yeah.
but you were so keen,
So keen.
and you're willing to do that journey
Yeah.
every day.
That's because the experience is hard to come by. So
Well,
I
it
have
is
to
hard to come by.
Take the
and
journey.
I
Doesn't
think
take too long.
it doesn't. Oh, that's good. Well, that's fine. Now, tell me a bit about yourself. I mean, any hobbies or?
Not really main hobbies, but I did actually work at a garden centre before I
Did
worked
you?
here.
Oh, that's
Yeah, that was
very
a little part-time job, so
Yes.
I learnt a bit about the gardening industry, which
good.
yeah,
Yes. Well, that's all
Yeah.
useful.
it'll be useful when I get older and have my own garden.
Well, that's a good point,
Yeah.
isn't it? And tell me, you're not Felixstowe. What do you think of Felixstowe?
I do like Felixstowe. I think there's a lot more to it than I think people know. I mean, you just think of Felixstowe and you think of the beach and the seafront,
Yes,
but you
yeah.
don't realise that they've actually got the football team. And I mean, I heard about the cinema closing down recently.
Oh,
which
it's a
was
cinema. I
shame.
hadn't heard that.
Yeah, I think I read that somewhere. I don't know if that's right.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I can't
No.
believe it, because that's
Yeah.
one of our big.
Close.
It's,
Oh, theatre.
Oh, it's a theatre.
Yeah,
Oh, that's right.
what it was.
Oh, thank God.
Too
Oh,
far
for that. We've got a marvellous cinema,
Yeah.
and it's one of our highlights of so many
But
people's
disappoint
lives.
people now.
Oh,
no,
yeah,
it's
you've
the theatre.
got my heart thumping then. No, it's a Spa Theatre,
Yeah,
which is great.
yeah.
But I understand that somebody stepped in now,
Yeah, oh,
and,
okay.
they're going to keep it going.
Oh, that's
so,
good.
have
Yeah.
you done anything with the theatre at all? or-
I actually helped out at a theatre company about 2 years ago for a couple of weeks backstage. So I was helping quick changes and helping all the actresses and actors before
Yes.
they went on. Yeah.
Oh,
that's
so
a good
really
experience.
up your street.
Yeah.
And what do you think of the technical side of all this television?
Yeah, there's a lot to learn.
There's
But
a lot to learn.
no, that's the part I enjoy.
You
so,
do enjoy
yeah.
it, yes, because there's an awful lot of
Camera work.
editing.
Yeah.
Because of course, you see, one of the big problems today is that there's going to be television, local televisions are going to be the future,
Yeah.
because as you know, Ofcom are now licensing small stations, and that's going to spread. And with the start now of smart television, so you can switch on
Oh,
a
yeah,
television,
yeah.
you go straight onto the internet, so you'll be able to look at Felixstowe television on your
Yeah.
ordinary television set. You'll be able to look at local televisions all over the country, from America, Australia, China. It's
good,
going to be
yeah.
incredible. You see, I go back to the days when you could just put it on and you had one station only, BBC. That was the only thing you could look at. Now there's so
Yeah,
many
such
thousands.
big range.
So this is where the future lies.
Yeah.
But of course, small set people can't afford the expensive rates.
No.
You see, if the BBC, for argument's sake, or ITV or Sky are making a film, for 10 minutes filming, they'll spend, a 10-minute feature,
Yeah.
they'll spend 2 days filming and 5 days editing
Yeah.
for 10 minutes. Well, there's no way we could do
No,
that, for
no.
instance. So you're getting some very valuable experience here, because here we do things live. I mean, we're going out live now,
Yeah.
and we haven't rehearsed it, we
Nope.
haven't scripted it, we
It's all
haven't.
very new to me.
And you're doing remarkably well. So I'm hoping you're going to be your
Be a good
next
year, yeah.
your next stage. So you're living at home with your parents.
Yes, yeah.
And what does your father do?
My dad is a civil servant, so
Oh, that's very
yeah, he
grand.
works-
So
yes.
yes.
It's a good job. He'll be there for a while, I
Well,
think.
that's right. I know. I
Yeah.
understand that the civil service does a tremendous job of work.
Yeah.
They do so
It's
much.
quite a safe job to be
It's
in
a
as
safe
well,
job,
yeah.
but they're doing very valuable work,
Yeah.
because the country wouldn't run without
No,
them, would
exactly.
it? And what are your aims in the future? What's your main interest?
The main aim at the moment is just to get a career in media, so keep finding more experience and hopefully get into a career one day.
Yes. Now Bella's taken to you. Look at that.
Yeah.
She's deserted me and gone over to Sam. Look at that. How she loves you. There you are.
Oh, he's now my
She's-
dog.
And so you have a dog. What have
Yeah,
you
I've got a little car terrier called Oscar.
Oh really?
Yeah,
Oh,
I
so-
wanted a dog for ages, so I was very happy when we brought him
That's
over.
good.
Yeah.
And one of the things I admire about you is that you are driving your own car.
Yes.
Now,
yeah.
how did you manage that at 19? I
Oh,
think that's wonderful.
Yeah, I had to start learning at 17, which costs
you?
quite a lot of money
It
now.
is, it's a
does.
tremendous job,
Yeah.
isn't it?
And I passed first time, which is good.
Did you?
I was
Gosh,
happy about that.
That's
Yeah.
very good. It's very difficult today.
Yeah, I
isn't
think they're
it?
making it more difficult now as well,
Yeah.
especially the theory. I think
Yes.
they've tried to make it more difficult. But
Yes. Well,
Yeah.
I'm full of admiration, because the fact you're driving over
Yeah.
a journey like that every day.
Yeah.
So I'm hoping that we're going to have a great future for
Yeah.
you with the television
yes,
here.
I hope so.
Now, what do you think of the Sense charity, which we just
Yeah,
been talking
it's
about.
really interesting actually. I didn't actually, I've heard of Sense before, but
Yeah.
I didn't know that much about the history and that, so it's interesting.
Yeah, it's fascinating.
Yeah.
But of course, Felixstowe, one of the big things about Felixstowe, and people love coming to Felixstowe, is the charity shops.
Yeah.
'Cause I think we've got more charity shops. I don't remember how many we've got. Do you know how many?
I haven't been down the town yet. I'll have to have a look later.
Somebody told me there were 18, but I don't think we've got 18
Yeah.
charity shops.
Oh.
But people come to Felixstowe especially for the charity shop because there's such a variety of them. And of course now, Sense used to be the only one that did furniture, for instance. Now the YMCA, I think, has started up furniture, and there's another one in the co-op which has started furniture. But sometimes this is a good thing, because people come in, I'll go and look in the furniture, and they don't just go to one, they go to the three, and so it brings a lot more people in, and that's what we want.
I always recommend to my friends that haven't had a job yet, I always say you should just go volunteer at a charity shop, because you get the till experience, don't you?
Well, of course
a lot
you
of
do.
jobs say that you need experience, so it's quite a good place to start. And they need the help, so it's
Well,
good,
this is right. But Sense has got such a lot going for it. They're doing such a good job. And I've been in and out of Sense ever since I've been in Felixstowe. So I speak very highly of Sense.
I'll have to take a look.
You'll have to go and look, definitely. And of course, the other thing which would be very nice and you ought to cover is this wonderful Rumpelstiltskin pantomime at
I do like the panto, so.
Well, it's great. So there are people who've missed out at Christmas or they want a special treat for their children. Here's the opportunity for them to go for it. But what do you think of the snow? We've had a lot of snow. Have you been hindered on the roads with it?
Well, no, because last week I was poorly, so I was actually in all week last week, so I got to miss all the snow. But I don't mind it. I guess when you're driving it every day, it's probably a bit of a pain, but it's quite nice to walk the dog in the snow.
And tell me about your dog. You've got a dog?
Yeah, he's very playful. He's about 2 years old now, I think. Yeah, we let him off on the lead the other day, and he saw a dog on the opposite side of the field, and he was gone. So I had to meet him around the corner for like 5 minutes later.
Well, anyway, we hope you're going to have a lovely birthday, and I hope you have a great career ahead of you, and I hope you enjoy your time with Felixstowe Television.
Thank you.
But
excited for the year.
well, we've had two very interesting people today. We can only wish both of them great success, as I'm sure they will. The Sense goes without saying. I think Sam has got a great future ahead of her. We wish her a very happy birthday, and I hope that you will continue to look. We can only apologise, by the way, for the problems we've been having lately, but in common with even some of the big companies, we've been, had a virus in us, and we've had a lot of technical problems. But fortunately, I hope we're over them now. We've just got to load up all our old archives. They haven't been lost. And we hope you'll continue to look. Thank you for watching Felixstowe Television and Felixstowe Matters. Good luck and goodbye.